from everything you know about the U.S. government, if there was an alien spacecraft, like, what do you think would happen? Would they be able to hold on to those secrets for, decades? Like, would they want to hold on to those secrets? Like, what would they do? What's your sense?
I can't imagine that kind of exciting situation not becoming public information,
Mhm.
right? And the counter to that is this, right? This is a very strong argument for why this is a big strategic deception campaign,
Mhm.
right? Think about the Defense Department and think about how jealously they guard its airspace, right? I mean, you had a Chinese balloon flying over and the whole world went crazy, right? It was front page news. So the fact that the one element or a couple people in the Defense Department have made this statement, we've lost control of our airspace over this UFO, alleged UFO craft that they can't explain. I don't buy that at all.
But
Zero.
of course, it's possible that, it is alien spacecraft, if it is that, and they operate under a very different set of technological capabilities, in theory.
In my interviews with Jacques Vallée, who is the kind of grandfather of all ufology, and
Mhm.
he's such an interesting person and has such a really unique origin story about how he came into all of this. And he's such a scientist, right? And he is profoundly dedicated to this issue and stands completely on the opposite end of the spectrum from me and knows a lot more and has studied this for decades more. But what he said to me is the most interesting thing, which is that it's not a military problem, it's an intelligence problem. Because Jacques believes that this is some kind of intelligence, right? Which really, the closest I can do to wrapping my head around that takes me to consciousness, right? The idea of what is consciousness. And I think that's where it becomes very interesting. I think the government is hiding bodies and crafts is very Paul Benowitz. Read it. Google it, look
Yeah.
into it, right?
Yeah. I think this kind of flying saucer thing is a trivialization of what kind of, if there's alien civilizations out there.
Trivialization. That's a great word. Trivialization. I agree with you.
I tend to believe that there's like a very large number of alien civilizations out there, and I believe we would have trouble comprehending what that even looks like
Hmm.
were they to visit. I tend to believe they are already here or have visited,
Mm-hmm.
and we're too dumb to understand what that even means.
Mm-hmm.
And they certainly would not appear as um, as flying objects that defy gravity for brief moments of time on low resolution video. I tend to have humility about all this kind of stuff, but I think radical humility is required to even like open your eyes to what an alien intelligence would actually
Mm-hmm.
look like, and to me, it's beyond military applications. It's like the basic human question of like, what is even this thing? Like you mentioned, consciousness that's going
Mm-hmm.
on. Like, where's this come from?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it so powerful? Is it unique in the universe? I tend to believe not. Of course, I hang out a bunch with other folks like Elon who believe we are alone. But I think that belief, just like you said, has power because it actually manifests itself in reality. So if you believe that we're alone in this universe, that's a great motivator to build rockets and become multiplanetary and save ourselves, especially in the case of nuclear war. Because otherwise, whatever this special sauce, this flame of consciousness, will go out if we destroy ourselves on this earth. And for people like Elon, it's too high of a probability that we destroy ourselves on Earth, not to try to become multiplanetary.